Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, hooligan, shills, like stars, facets, spouses, minions. I'm a useful idiot, and today I want to talk about Poland. And there's kind of a story that's not getting too many headlines in the rest of the world, but a pretty big deal in Poland, and something we should watch in this day and age of bail-ins and confiscation of accounts like we saw in Cyprus. We have to watch for what kind of events are happening out there, how all these broke governments are going to squeeze a little bit more money out and survive for just a few more days, months, weeks, or years. So what Poland's doing is stripping privately run pension funds of their holdings of government bonds. That's right, they're confiscating pensions. And this law was signed and is now going to go to court for a legal challenge. They have to decide whether it is a, quote, illegal nationalization of the assets controlled by private pension funds, unquote. So the fact that they call it that is because that's exactly what it is. And the reason why they have to take it to court is to find out some way they can weasel around it. And that's probably what will happen. And essentially what this does is shifts 51.5% of the assets held by these private pension funds, $51 billion, largely in government bonds, and transferred into the state-run pay-as-you-go pension system. So to clarify, what they did is they had private pension regime was set up in 1999. And what they did is they split the government-run pension plan was split into two parts: a pay-as-you-go system, in which today's workers support the pensioners, and then a second pillar system where part of the Social Security deductions are channeled into workers' accounts, allowing them to save for their own retirement. So it's that second pillar that they're confiscating. The people that have been saving themselves in their own accounts and managing their own retirements are the ones who have been diligent and are having 51.5% of their assets confiscated, $51 billion in all, and it's being put back into or rolled back into the pay-as-you-go system in which today's workers support pensioners. That way the government doesn't have to put up any money up front. And lo and behold, they say the plan is to cancel the bonds, resulting in what do you can imagine, a dramatic improvement in Poland's public finances. That's right. So they're going to cancel the bonds, and then all of a sudden the Polish economic situation will look that much rosier, and they can not fall to similar fate as many other European countries. So, because they have financial goals to meet in order to please Brussels. So anyway, there's few defenders of this private pension systems. I guess they tend to be very expensive and have a very labyrinthian system to work through and are largely ineffective. But that said, these systems apparently function enough that they can hold on to their wealth while the government, of course, squandered theirs away. But as we know, like most governments in the world, it's more a matter of the government not putting in their contributions, so adding to their debt and their hidden debt. And one person said in the parliament in Poland, he said, quote, "The owners are the top of the pyramid of the oligarchy of Polish and foreign companies which transfer out unbelievable sums," unquote. So no surprise there. Similar thing that's happening in countries all over the world is happening to Poland. Polish corporations and foreign corporations operating in Poland are transferring a lot of wealth and profit out of the country, and at Poland's expense, using Poland's systems. And opponents accuse the government of expropriating the savings of 16 million Poles in order to patch up their crappy finances. And that's pretty much nailing it on the head. So there we have some numbers. 16 million people are having their private pensions, confiscated and rolled into this government program, and $51 billion is being taken. And 13%. Only 13% of the population support this change, and most oppose it, 53%. And of course, the IMF loves it. So we know that if the IMF loves it, then it's probably going to be a bad deal for Poland. And this is also going to have a big effects on the stock exchange and the economy in Poland, because now we're going to have all this money withdrawn from these private pension funds who will not operate in the Warsaw Stock Exchange. So we could see some economic volatility in Poland as a result of this. If this goes through, it's supposed to go into effect in February, and this program only lasted 13 years. So when they talk about it being poorly planned, it still boggles the mind that we have so many so-called bright people and so many so-called experts design this pension program, and then after only 13 years find it's too expensive to run. And let that be a lesson to those who still believe in some of these European-style socialism programs that they think are so successful. These governments are just like governments all over the world. They're hiding their debt and their obligations for some of these programs that are unsustainable. Many countries have already slashed their contributions to these second pillar systems. So Poland's following suit. Hungary even scrapped this entire system. So we could see a lot more of that through the Eurozone. So anyway, needless to say, these private pension funds are also outraged. It's another reason why we could see some economic volatility. But well, there should be. So we'll see if people out in the mainstream media or in the Western world find out more about this and see if this actually happens. But if it is what it appears to be, it's pretty outrageous. We're seeing the illegal nationalization of assets controlled by private pension funds being confiscated by the government to patch up their crappy budget. I'm a useful idiot. Don't you be one too.